Hey, Rich Jason. Welcome to an unwrapping of Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond, the Lord of the Rings Tales of the Middle Earth sets. I have 4 packs of the set boosters and 1 of the draft boosters. Just kind of give you a different idea. I have not done a whole lot of looking into the set. I mean, I've done, looked at a couple of the previews, but I haven't deep dived into it, so I don't know what most of the cards are, so I'm going to be excited to basically reveal these at the same time as you're getting to see them. So this is one thing Magic's been doing a lot recently, has been branching out into other non-Magic storylines. And like they did D&D, which obviously makes sense because it's fantasy, Lord of the Rings is definitely an easy conclusion as well. So what are the difference, quick, before a set booster and a draft booster? So the first thing is a set booster has 12 cards, a draft has 15. It might be like, well, then why don't you always pick up a draft pack? There are minor reasons. The big reason here is, okay, so draft pack says perfect for traditional draft or sealed experience. It's basically the rarities and how stuff are set up. The set boosters are an exciting way to add to your collection. Each booster contains at least 1 rare or mythic, maybe more, so you get a potential to get more rares. A guaranteed foil and an art card. So if we can kind of zoom in on this a little bit, let me see if I can get this to zoom in. So a set booster contains a combination of 1 to 4 cards of rare or higher, and 1 alt card, and 1 to 8 cards. Also includes 3 to 7 uncommon and 3 to 7 common and 1 land. 1 non-art card and 1 land card of any, and 1 spoil. So you're gonna get 1 art card, 1 land, I think maybe 1 non-land, 1 land card guaranteed. You're gonna get a couple of commons and uncommons, and then guaranteed 1 to 4 rares. So you could get up to 4 rares. You could get a bunch of commons. You could get like 1 common in the set, or well, maybe 3 commons, at minimum. Versus a draft pack where you're going to get 15 cards. It's going to be 1 rare. I think it's 3 uncommons, and then a bunch of 3 or 4 uncommons and another bunch of commons. So you're gonna get like the set number, and that's because these are meant for draft. You're supposed to be able to pass these around in a circle, and you're gonna get that various stuff. So it's pretty much as the big difference is, besides just that rarity and stuff as well, you might believe you get more rares. Why wouldn't you pick this? The set boosters tend to kind of be themed together. Everything up until like usually the rare and the foil, usually tend to be the same. So if I start drawing a set that has wizards, I will tend to get other cards that deal with wizards. If I get red cards, I might get other cards that deal with red. You're going to get kind of theme packs. It helps a little bit more if you're just trying to maybe, collect different stuff or collect that, where draft packs can literally be anything. I could get 4 red, 3 blue, and never get a white in like 4 packs, so... Alright, we're going to hop in. We're going to let's do a set booster first. So here's a set booster. Oh, my camera does not want to focus today. Now, these are based off of the books and novels and stuff, and not the movies. So if you're like, why doesn't, Gandalf here look like Ian McKellen? Or why doesn't, this person look like that person? That's why. So it'll be very interesting to see. Alright, so let's pop this open and see what we got. Now, I'm not going to do a thing where I try and, reshuffle them around and this and that and put the rare card in the back. We'll just see what we got. So we get these awesome art cards, which are just art from the... art from different cards. They usually have, a foil signature on them. But yeah, they're nothing extra special than that. So it says, this is Faramir. And then it's card 81 of them. So it's quite a few. Alright. And then we get a foil land card. Which, if you're Lord of the Ring knowledge, I'm sure all these lands are probably gonna have, various... And why I'm holding these, that's the whole point of me having this easel here, so I don't have to hold these cards. I'm sure they're probably gonna have iconic locations or semi-iconic locations. That's not going to mean I know where they are. Alright, so then we have this. Alright, our first card is we have Erebor Flamesmith, a dwarf artificer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, deal 1 damage to each opponent. Ooh, that is not bad for a 2 cost. We make good armor and keen swords, but we cannot, again, make mail or a blade to match those our following have made before the dragon game. Interesting. Alright, we got a new land card. The Shire Terrace. Tap, add 1 colorless mana, or pay 1 and tap to sacrifice. Search your library for a basic land, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle it. Okay, so you've seen that. It's a pretty common land card. Everything looked fresh, and the new green spring was shimmering in the fields. Neat. I like the set symbol, too. It's like the 1 ring with like a triangle around it. I'm not really sure what the triangle represents. But interesting. The Bag End Porter, who's a dwarf. He might be like, isn't Bag End where the hobbits live? It is. But he's a porter, so he's got to deliver stuff. Whenever the Bag End Porter attacks, it gets XX until the end of the turn, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Dwarves' tongues run and speak of their handiwork, they say. That's cool. 4/4, it can actually gain better for playing legendaries. That's definitely cool. We have a Mirror Guardian, a dwarf soldier. When Mirror Guardian dies, the ring tempts you. Okay, so this is something to do with the ring. This is a new mechanic. I'm not sure how that works yet. Maybe we'll get like a rules card or something in one of these packs. But still looks like the stars appeared in a dark and windless Miramore. There lies a crown in the water deep, till Durin wakes again from sleep. What's really cool about this set so far is right now is we've gotten, so like I said, they're kind of themed packs. So, like, right, our first card was a red dwarf. Dwarf makes sense in red. You know, we've had a lot of them. But then now we've had 2 other dwarves, and they're also in green. So you can kind of see how these set packs are themed. So you've had dwarves. I also like the fact dwarves are in green. I love whenever a set goes to like a different little world or area. Like Lorwyn did this. That lets you play as races that might not normally be in their traditional races. Like when we got black elves. So that's cool. The Foray of Orcs. Amass 2 orcs. When you do, Foray of Orcs deals X damage to target creature and the opponent controls, where X is the amassed army's power. So Mass was originally in Armaket, with zombie mummies, basically. So to amass Orcs 2, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on an army card you control. It is also an orc. You don't control an army, create a 0/0 black army creature token first. So basically, a mask does is it creates a token, army token, and then you put counters on there to represent each one. So instead of it being like the last one, we had a dwarf that was 4/4, which had 4 power, 4 toughness. This lets you create 1 token that essentially is treated as if it's a bunch of characters. It's a nice way to get like a large army out without having to, having to place like 14 tokens out. So that's cool, and it needs because it's a red card that creates black, orcs. I'm gonna try and fix my camera. 1 sec. There, that looks better. I know it's hard to see some of that artwork on there. Alright, so yeah, so now we had a couple of dwarves that play together. Now the second kind of package, now we're getting into some of our uncommons. So you can see we had three commons. We had 4 commons. We had 3 dwarves in our land. And now we're getting to our uncommons here. Oop, I'm already grabbing to her. Now we're getting some orcs in there. Now we have another one. March from the Black Gate. When March from the Black Gate enters the battlefield, and whenever an army you control attacks, amass 1 orc. To put a 1/1 counter on an army you control is also an orc. If you don't control any, create one. Like a storm, they broke the line of the men of Gondor, sorry. So yeah, this one, what this does then is, now if like we did the last one, we created an army. Now this one's every time an army attacks, I basically give that thing a +1, basically I'm boosting up that army token. Now, the thing is, that means you're not going to have 10 different army tokens every time you have it. You're just going to have one army. It's just going to keep getting more massive and massive. We got our first legendary. We got Gothmog, Morgul Lieutenant, who's a human soldier, which is interesting. He's a Morgul Lieutenant, but he's a human. When Gothmog enters a battlefield, amass one orc. Creature tokens you control have Death Touch. Oh boy, so he comes in, and then he gives you an army. If you already had one, he boosts it. And then he gives it Death Touch. Now imagine if you played these other two cards just without doing anything else. Like we played Foray of Orcs. It says amass 2. So now we have a 2/2 orc. It says whenever does damage to a creature, X is where the mass number is power. She basically just straight up does damage to that, so it's 2/2. This would make it a 3/3. Plus, every time you attack, it would make it bigger. And this guy could make it into a 4/4. So you have them 3 cards, you have a 4/4, essentially out. They'd have Death Touch. That's pretty crazy. Alright. Okay, then we get some alt art cards. This is the other reason why I like the art set. You get these alt art cards a lot more often. So that's really cool. So we have another uncommon, but we have Legolas, the Counter of Kills. These are cool alt art bordered cards. I love the circle color on it. It's really neat. This is an elf archer. Everyone knows Legolas. He has reach. Whenever you scry, if Legolas Counter of Kills is tapped, you may untap it. Do this only one each turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Legolas. That's actually kind of cool. So you can do reach. But yeah, if you scry a lot, which is a blue ability, you untap him, he gets to attack again. And if you can keep killing guys, he gets a +1/+1 counter. This is whenever an opponent's creature dies, not that he kills them necessarily. He can use other things to kill them, and he gains counters. So he can get boosted up pretty quick. And then we have that one dwarf that gains a bonus for every legendary. So we've had 2 different legendaries. He's a green. He would work nice with that. And then we have a rare artwork. We have Pippin, Guard of the Citadel, who's a blue-white. This is a different bordered card. Halfling Soldier. Vigilance and Ward 1. I believe Ward means you have to pay, your opponent has to pay that amount to be able to block him. Tap. Another target creature you control gains protection from the card type of the choice of your turn. Nice. That's actually really cool. She's a guardian type character. And then we have a second rare. So yeah, we got 2 rares in this pack. We have Emor, Marsh of Rohan. Human Knight. Haste. Whenever one or more of your attacking legendary creatures you control dies, untap all creatures you control after this phase. If there's an additional combat phase, this ability triggers only once per turn. Need Brook, no delays. Yet late is better than never. Yeah, it's a cool ability. So if one of your creatures, whenever one or more other attacking legendary creatures dies, untap all creatures. So that's gonna be another legendary creature, so it's a little bit limited that way. But he's not bad at all. Then we have a regular foil. So it says, "You cannot pass." Everyone knows this scene from the movie. There's Gandalf in the Barlog. That's an uncommon foil. Strike target creature that blocked or is blocked by a legendary creature this turn. It raised the whip, and the tongs winged and cracked. The fire came from its nostrils, but Gandalf stood firm. So that's definitely cool. So we got all these cool cards in there. Then our last one is a throwback card. I didn't even know these were in here. So this is from Magic Set 10. We have Sweeper Agent, who's a minion. So when Sweeper Agent comes into play, a target opponent gains control of it. At the beginning of your upkeep, Sweeper Agent deals 2 damage to you. That's cool. So you play it, it goes to your opponent's side. So they get a 3/3 creature. But at the beginning of every turn, it's going to deal 2 damage to them. So either they're going to have to sacrifice it or throw it into battle against you so you can take care of it. That's very interesting. Again, now that the throwback cards don't necessarily have anything to do with the actual set. They're themed to fit in the world. Like, hey, this card could work well in the world, but they're not necessarily themed with the pack. Cool. So that was our first pack. We'll leave that card up there for a sec. Alright, we're gonna open up the draft booster. Then we can get a kind of a side-by-side view of what that looks like in comparison. Let me kind of maybe get an idea of which pack you might want to buy. So there's more cards in here. But we're going to start with a bunch of commons. So we have Rush the Room. Target creature gets +1 attack and gains first strike till the end of turn. If it's a goblin or an orc, it also gains haste till the end of turn. If there was a horde blasted in the rush defeat, and the orcs one after another leapt into the chamber. This is when they're in the mines of Moria, possibly. I don't know if there's orcs in the mines. But that's definitely cool. One cost, it gets, it's only a +1, but it gains haste. If you drop a new big character down, you can go ahead and attack with it right away for 1, which isn't bad. Alright, we got our first blue. We have the Hythlean Knots. Instinct. Tap target creature, scry 1, draw a card. So this is working nice with that Legolas we just got. You get tap something, which makes it harder to fight it. So you don't have to worry with them attacking you back. Plus scry, Legolas would untap, and you draw a card. If you will try to run away, you must be tied. We don't wish to hurt you. Sam. Alright, our next one we have Fog on the Barrows Down. This is an aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature is a spirit and can't attack or block. It loses all other creature types. Oh, that's cool. So it's like a pacifism, but it turns him into a spirit. Cold be hands and heart and bone, and cold be sleep under stone. Never more to wake on stony bed, never till the sun fails and the moon is dead. Lots of poems on this. Oh, we got a Mirkwood Spider, a green spider, 1 cost, 1/1, Death Touch. Whenever Mirkwood Spider attacks target legendary creature you control, gains Death Touch till the end of turn. So cool, right now, I'm already looking, I can form this neat Legolas deck, because he's also green. She throws a little 1/1 spider, and that spider can work with Legolas, to Death Touch bigger things, you know. But you can keep giving Legolas Death Touch as well. Till someone basically, okay, I'm just gonna let this 1/1 kill one of my guys. Far and wide, she loves lesser brood, spread from the glen to glen, to Gold Girl and the fastness of Mirkwood. Awesome. We have Oleg High Crusher, a troll soldier. Trample. Oleg High Crusher can't block unless you control a goblin or an orc. Trolls were abroad and no longer dull-witted, but cunning and armed with dreadful weapons. Oh yeah, look at it. Bat with a bunch of spikes and big giant blade on it. I'd be terrified too. Alright, Orcish Medicine. Instant target creature gains your choice of lifelink or indestructible till the end of turn. Amass Orcs 1. So yeah, you know, we got another orc card to amass our orcs. We have them, some of them were red. We had a troll that works with that. So I already see, like, the draft packs are giving us a wide array of stuff. But you can tell they can definitely work with set boosters as well. So it's not necessarily, oh, I have to buy one or the other. They kind of work together. But now if I bought that set booster, I already got 2 themes going, right? I had the dwarf theme, and I had the orc theme, and then I also had some legendaries to kind of play with like Legolas and Pippin. You know, I can play around with some of those guys, deciding, you know, maybe what I might want to base a deck off of. And now this, I'm looking at getting a draft pack, which has more cards, more different colors. I can kind of see some other different options that work with them. Alright. Dreadful as the Storm. Instant. Target creature has a base power and toughness of 5/5 till the end of turn. The ring tempts you. There's that ring temptation again. I shall not be dark, but beautiful and terrible as the morning and night, and shall love me and despair. Interesting. Yeah, we gotta find out what I might have to. I have a card here with the ring, so we just see what that does. At the end of this pack. Now for Wrath Now for Ruin. Ooh, they don't usually do long titles like that. Sorcery for a white. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. They gain vigilance until the end of the turn. The ring tempts you. The captains of the West came to the challenge of the Black Gate in the Might of Mordor. Since our first or second white card, which is our first big white card. The Enraged Huron is a tree folk. Trample when Enraged Huron enters the battlefield. The ring tempts you. They stand watching endlessly over the trees. It's difficult to see them moving, but they can move quickly if they're angry. There's a lot of stuff in here that's going to maybe give your characters a little bit of extra oomph for the cost just because they have this ring temptation. Alright, and our last common is East Farthing Farmer, Halfling Peasant. On the East Farthing Farmer enters the battlefield, create a food token. When you do, target creature you control gets +1/+1 till the end of turn for each food token you control. And a food token is an artifact with pay 2 to tap to sacrifice this to gain 3 life. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. This is another theme I know that runs in there lots through the Hobbits and stuff where they create food and game bonuses. Alright, our first one. So we got, a bunch of commons in there. We had, so it's a lot more commons than we had in the other one. So yeah, if you're trying to find a lot more of the basic cards, this is the way to go. If you want the set cards, yeah, you're going to get maybe some of the less cards where you get more of the rare stuff, possibly. But having like 4 copies of a 5-cost rare doesn't really help you when you need some of the starter cards to start out with. Alright, we have a Saga. I love Saga cards ever since they made them. The Book of Mazabul. So after Saga enters and after you draw stuff, add a lore counter. After sacrifice after chapter 3. Amass 1 orc. Oh, nice. We get an orc amassing tool. So just play this right off the bat, you get amass 1 orc. Then next turn, you get amass 2 more orcs. And then step 3, creatures you control get +1 attack and gain menace till the end of turn. Menace means they can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. So at this point, you could potentially already have a 3/3 orc for 3 mana. It takes 2 turns to do it, but then you can also give them an extra attack. That's pretty cool. Alright, next in common, the Horses of Bruin. Sorcery. Return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hand. Scry 1, the ring tempts you. Nice. So, forcing some creatures back in their hand. The black horses filled with madness and leaping forth in terror bore their riders into the rushing flood. Oh, so the horses are the blue water ones. Alright, our last uncommon. Oh, sweet, we got Frodo Baggins. Who's green and white, my 2 favorite colors. Halfling Scout. I can kind of see like some corruption sort of on his hand there. That's kind of neat. Whenever Frodo Baggins or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, the ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is the ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. If you have ever come hither through the greater peril and more errand more urgent. Interesting. So he's a 2-cost 1/3. It's decent. But you gain control of the ring. Alright, our rare. Oh, as a nice counterpoint, we got Smeagol, the helpful guide. Black and green, halfling horror. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals a card from the top of their library until they reveal a land. Put that card into the battlefield tapped, under your control, and the rest into their graveyard. What? If one of your creatures dies, and then you're tempted, in any card that tempts you, whether it's this one or another one, as long as he's out, your opponent reveals cards so they find a land. You get that land, and they have to lose all their cards. That could really hurt some decks. And then imagine even combining with Frodo here. Says whenever Frodo or another legendary creature enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. So if you have both of these out, every time you play a legendary creature, that would tempt you, and you get to do that to your opponent. That's crazy. Alright, we got a land card, just generic blue, and hey, our non-foil version. Then our last one is the Ring, which is like a rules card. So it does say H13 down here, so there must be 12 other ones that go with this, but the Ring says, I'm guessing each time you get tempted, it's going to go one direction. I'm not sure which one. Your Ring Bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Whenever your Ring Bearer attacks, draw a card and then discard a card. Whenever the Ring Bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature controller sacrifices it in your turn. And whenever your Ring Bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 health. Those are some powerful abilities. There's a back say how this works. Yes, the ring tempts you. As the ring tempts you, you get an emblem named the ring. If you don't have one or any, then your emblem gains the next ability, and your creature choose a creature control to become or remain your ring bearer. The ring can tempt you even if you don't control a creature. A ring gains its abilities in order from the top to bottom. Once it gains an ability, it has that ability for the rest of the game. Each time the ring tempts you, you must choose a creature if you control, and each player can only have one emblem named the ring, and only one ring bearer at a time. They gain emblem in your next ability. So this does tear off here, so you can kind of see. So you can actually take the ring off and put it next to whichever creature it is. Yeah, so you start off with the top one. It becomes a legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So that's kind of cool. And then after that, whenever your ring bearer attacks, draw a card and discard a card, which is good and bad. It's kind of nice. These are kind of like good and bad effects, because you can't be blocked by a creature with greater power, which isn't bad. And then next, if you draw a card, discard. Whenever a ring bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it in combat. So they're already forced, so it can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. And then if they do block you, you can destroy them, and ring bearer deals damage to each player. Each opponent loses 3 lives. That's pretty cool. And then if we also looked at, I want to go back to Frodo here, because he had the ring bearer ability. It says, as long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. But then notice the first ability. Can't be blocked by creatures with a greater power. So it has a 1/3. So it has to be blocked if your opponent has a 1 cost tower. That's your power. But it also has to be blocked, but he has to be blocked if able. But he can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So that means basically he can take out all the small creatures. That's pretty cool. Alright, so that's our first thing. So there's a good reason to pick it up. We got this little life token. I don't know if that's going to be in every pack or not. Fortunately, I don't have another set pack or another draft pack to compare that to. Because I like picking up the... okay, we got another one in the draft or the set pack too. Alright, so let's set that one aside. Here's our first set. So I'm just going to flip right to that. So the end one of our second draft pack is we did get another ring card. So that's kind of nice that they're in both packs. Alright, our artwork card is a bunch of eagles. I believe they're eagles. They'll probably tell me right here. Oh, specifically, Gawther, the greatest of the eagles. Nice. Alright. Oh, this is cool artwork. Full art map for the swamp. So it's going to show the Dead Marshes, Ningolf, Emilmil, the East Emic, the White Mountains, Mordor, and the Black Gate. That's awesome. So it's like, the land are going to form the map of Middle-earth. That is definitely cool. Alright, what do we got in this one? This is this is one of our set boosters, so it'll be kind of themed. Again, the land doesn't have anything to do with it. We have Arwen's Gift. Spell. Sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control 2 or more legendary creatures. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Wear this now in memory of Elfstone and Evenscar, with whom your life has been woven. Cool. And Scry again lets you look at the top card of your deck and decide. I believe you can put it on the back on the top or put it to the bottom. So then drawing the cards after this is definitely helpful, because it kind of lets you cycle through get to your deck to find out what you need. Alright, we have a Hithian Knot, which we saw in the other pack, but again, scrying, which is not bad. We have another common. We have Willow-Wing, a 5-cost 3/4 elemental. Flying when Willow-Wing enters the battlefield, scry 2. So, see, we're keeping blue theme, but we're also keeping all this scrying. The branches of the willow begin to sway violently. Frodo called for help, but he could hardly hear his own voice. It was blown away with him by the Willow-Wing and drowned in a clamor of leaves. Interesting. And then our other common is Greyhaven's Navigator, an elf pilot. Interesting. So we only had one elf, but I haven't seen a pilot in here before. Flash. When Greyhaven's Navigator enters the battlefield, scry 1. It was a tradition that beyond the Shire stood Greyhaven, from which time elf ships set sail and never to return. Oh, I guess there's probably boats in this world. My brain thinks pilot, I immediately think like airship. Yeah, it makes more sense. Alright, our first uncommon. Look, we got more orcs. So now you can kind of see, like, I've gotten 2 set packs. I have a bunch of orc cards I can play together and make an orc deck. The blue cards would work well with Legolas if I wanted to make a scrying deck. But we also had some green, so I could mix in dwarves. So I already could combine these 2 different packs to make 2 different decks. And it gives me a good start. We have Ulguric of the White Hand, a red-black legendary orc soldier. I am Ulrich, I command, and I return to Isengard by the shortest road. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on him. If that creature was a goblin or orc, put 2 1/1 counters on him instead. Nice, so basically he's going to just chuck his minions out, he's going to get stronger if they die. Nothing wrong with that. So that could be like the 3rd legendary orc guy we have. We have another uncommon here. We have Gorbag of Minas Morgul, an orc soldier. Whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. When you do, choose 1. Draw a card or create a treasure token. A treasure is an artifact with tap. Sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. So we have all those other cards that let you keep amassing. Now the thing is, I keep saying amassing just keeps making 1 token. You could amass an army of 1 or 2, sacrifice it, attack it, it dies. And then you could play another amass card, start another one. And you could keep doing that over and over and over, instead of making small little armies. And you have a creature like this, it says, hey, when it deals damage, sacrifice it, and you get some extra bonus. And the other guys, hey, if they die, he gets a bonus. So there's lots of synergy in there. Then we have another uncommon. We have a blue Saruman's Trickery. Counter target spell, amass orcs 1. So you can amass orcs in blue as well. That's kind of interesting. I gave you the chance of aiding me willingly. There's Saruman there, that evil guy. Alright, so that was our uncommons. Now we're going to get to our full arts. That's why I love these packs. The Knights of Dol Amroth. Human Knight. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Knights of Dol Amroth. So a blue card that gets bonuses every time you draw a card. Look at our earlier stuff. We have a bunch of scribes. You draw 1 card, draw 2 card. Definitely this could boost up every card and be really powerful. Our rare card, we have a rare foil. We have Barad-dûr, a legendary land. It's like the tower in the back. Enters a battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Tap to add a swamp. Or pay XX and a black to tap to amass X orcs. Activate only if a creature dies this turn. You have to pay X for each instance. So if you paid 1 and 1, you gain 2. If you paid 3 for the first time, you paid 5 for the next time. For some reason, you have 8 plus 1, so you have to spend 9 mana to gain 8 orcs. But again, it's massive. It becomes a really massive thing. You know, this will work really great with all the rest of them amass orcs, because you could use this to, bare minimum, spend 2 mana, 3 mana, XX, and then a colorless to make a 2/2 orc amass pile, and you could keep adding the other tokens to it. But as you get later and later in the game, you could play bigger creatures. So that's really cool. Alright, we have a rare, our second rare, the Phial of Gadriel. Galadriel? I'm butchering that name. Legendary Artifact. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, draw 2 cards instead. If you would gain life while you have 5 or less life, you gain twice that much life instead. Tapped at 1 mana of any color. Yeah, so the abilities are not bad. Being able to add just, hey, 3 to have any color mana is definitely helpful. But then adding the fact is, hey, if we're doing bad, this is a nice little lifeline. I have less than my life, I gain life. Or if I have no cards, I draw cards. You're more often to run out of cards, I would say, than have 5 life and have a life gaining ability, unless you're playing your deck around that. May it be a light you in the dark places when all other lights go out. Very cool. Alright, our last card is a foil. I don't know, it looks badass. It looks like it's some super rare. It's just a regular rare, but it's foil. But we have another Frodo. We have Frodo, Sauron's Bane. This is one of the Nazgul, and he's hiding behind the tree. Halfling Citizen. Pay a white or a black. Ooh, half manas. I love that. If Frodo, Sauron's Bane is a citizen, it becomes a halfling scout with a base power and toughness of 2/3 and lifelink. Cool, so you can kind of like evolve him. Or you can pay 3 black. If Frodo is a scout, it becomes a halfling rogue. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game if the ring has tempted you 4 or more times in this game. Otherwise, the ring tempts you. Oh, that is actually really cool. Okay, so it's a 1/1 or 1 cost 2/3 creature. And then you can pay 2 mana, either keep it the white, or if you're starting to dabble into the black, which is the shadow, you can turn him into a scout, which gains him lifelink and 2/3, so you can actually get some life back. And then then when you do that, you can pay 3, and it says if he's a scout, he becomes a halfling rogue instead, so now he's been trained up a little bit more. And he deals combat damage to a player. The player loses the game if the ring has tempted you. Yes, if the ring has tempted you a bunch, you can, go ahead and kill your opponent with it. And the thing is, you don't have to wait to pay that 3 black to change him after the ring has tempted you. You can just go ahead and do that any time. Now, I do have I wonder though, because this is Frodo Sauron's Bane, is I wonder how that works with Frodo Baggins. Because they're both named Frodo, but they have different, they're not like Planeswalkers which have that, otherwise each ledger have to have the exact same name. So I wonder if you can technically have both Frodos out. I'll have to maybe look this up and post it at the end of the video. Because if you can, it says whenever he enters it, or another legendary creature enters, you become tempted. So that would help you get tempted really quick just by playing a Frodo deck. Definitely cool. Alright, so pack number 3 for our set boosters. Let's crack this open and see what we got. Drop that one back down there. So at that one we didn't get a old card like we got the first pack, but we got an extra foil. Just kind of, there's no guarantee exactly you're going to get. Ooh, is this a Gimli or is this just a regular dwarf? It is a Gimli. Gimli, counter of kills. Ooh, kind of like a Legolas, counter of kills. So maybe we'll get that card. That'd be kind of cool. We're going to get a Mountain. Probably Mount Doom there. Alright, our first one we have an uncommon, a common, we have the Black Breath. Sorcery. Creatures your opponent controls get -1/-1 until the end of turn. The ring tempts you. When a Black Breath blows, Death Shadows grows. I just want to see something here really quick. Yeah. I just made sure the ring cards are the same. I was like, that'd be kind of neat if they had different effects. Your opponent controls gets -1/-1. It's like a good kill spell for lots of small creatures. Alright, then we have the Hurakai Berserker. Orc Berserkers. We have more orcs here. When it enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. What of the dawn? We are the Urkhai. We do not stop fighting for night or day, or for fair weather or for storm. We come to kill you by sun or moon. What of the dawn? Nice. So just anchors, and he's pretty decent, pretty solid. The Mordor Trebuchet. It was a wall. I love walls. My favorite cards are wall types. It says defender, so it means it can't attack. Whenever you attack with one or more goblins, anger, orcs, create a 1/2 colorless construct artifact creature token with flying named Ballistic Boulder that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that token at the end of combat. Cool. So as long as I'm attacking, I get to create a 2/1 creatures to throw in, and it's flying. So your opponents if they don't have flying creatures, you're gonna keep hitting them every time. But it's also really neat is because I would have thought, oh, you're going to sacrifice one of those creatures for it. Nope. Or you have to tap one of those creatures to activate this machine. Nope. It just automatically goes whenever they're going. That's pretty cool. Alright, got another Rush the Room. We have a regular version of Legolas Counter of Kills. So this is cool. So now we got both versions of it. So there's the regular version, and there's that alt art version. I would definitely probably play the alt art version. Looks much cooler. This one looks cool too, because you actually see Legolas a bit more. Obviously, doesn't look like Elango Bloom. Says reach, may counter, may tap and untap it. Do this only once per turn. We've seen all those. Now it has flavor text. 2, say Legolas. I'll make my tail 20 times. I'll make my tail 20 at least. That's kind of cool. Then we have, oh sweet, we got Friendly Rivalry. Target creature you control, and up to one target legendary creature you control, each deal damage equal to their power to target creature you don't control. 42, Master Legolas. So yeah, we have Legolas and Gimli there, fighting back to back, which is really cool. Green red. Yeah, they just deal damage. Deal damage equal to their power to target creature. So that's nice, because they can combine together. And then, even better to go with it, is we did get Gimli, Counter of Kill, which is go with that alt artwork card. So the other one is his alt artwork, which would have been like his legendary, or his alt art version. Now we get the regular one, which is also the artwork on the draft packs. I love whenever I get artwork on the packs. Dwarf Warrior, trample whenever a creature opponent controls dies, Gimli Conquer Kills deals 1 damage to the creature's controller. So Legolas gets whenever you scry, you can attack again. So he can attack a lot more often. Which is whenever opponent's creature dies, he gains a counter. So he gets stronger as he kills, as things die. And then Gimli's, whenever things die, he just deals damage directly to the controller. So now you're combining these two together. That's kind of fun, because then each time they kill one, you're going to do extra damage, and Legolas can get bigger to make it easier to kill things. Plus, with Trample, he's going to be able to keep doing more and more damage as well. I'd say boost him with some auras and stuff like that if you have them. Plus, your previous one we just had, if you have both of them cards and you play them, you can target creature you control and up to one other legendary creature, and each deals their power. So just off the bases, you have a 6-cost character. You could just drive right towards one thing, defeats them, then he does 1 damage to the controller, he gains a +1. That's kind of cool. Now, just keep in mind, though, if you're going to play both of these, you'd have to have blue, red, and green. So you have to play a 3-color deck. Alright, and our other uncommon here is we have Rising of the Day. Enchantment. Creatures you control have haste. Legendary creatures you control have +1 attack. Very helpful for both of us. They can drop an attack right away and they gain the bonus. Over the low hills, the hordes were sounding, hastening down for the long slopes where 1,000 men on foot, their swords were in their hands. I keep thinking some of these are poems, and they're not. They're just sentences. Alright, we have an uncommon here. We have another legendary land, the Grey Havens. We had a guy with an elf with that already. So the Grey Havens enters the battlefield, scry 1. Add 1 colorless mana or tap deck 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures in your graveyard. Interesting. So that worked very well with them scrying cards we had in the other pack. Oh, this is awesome. So our first rare, the Barlog, Durin's Bane, Avatar Demon, 5 cost plus red and black. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this turn. Haste. The Barlog can't be blocked except by legendary creatures, and when the Barlog dies, destroy target artifact or creature an opponent controls. So even if they do manage to block you with a legendary creature and it kills you, you can at least take it out with you. That's cool. Plus it has haste, it's 7/5 with haste. I don't know how you're going to sacrifice permanents to make this guy cheaper, but I mean, if you could somehow sacrifice 5 permanents and make this guy a 2 cost, that'd be crazy. And to go with that, we got another foil version of You Cannot Pass, so that's pretty funny. Our last card is a throwback card for Dominaria. The Mending of Dominaria, so a 5 cost green Saga card. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then shuffle your graveyard into your library. That's actually pretty crazy. So you return all lands to your graveyard, from your graveyard to the battlefield, then shuffle your library into your graveyard and your library. So basically resetting everything but getting all your lands out. Late game can definitely help out. You know, top 2 cards of your library to your graveyard, then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Just to let you dump your lands or a creature in there and then get them back out. That's definitely cool as well. And then didn't we have a card earlier that maybe that was in the other pack. We had a card that gained you a bonus if you had creatures in your graveyard. I could have swore I had a card that said that. Now I can't find it, so. Yeah, no, definitely cool. Alright, so we got one more pack left, one more set booster. If you guys are enjoying this video, let me know. Maybe I'll pick up some more packs. There's lots of more cards in this. There's, what, 269? Or well, once you start getting the alt arts, it gets up into the 300s. Yeah, I'm not sure what the end number is. It doesn't show me on there, but there's probably like 200 plus cards in this set. Probably close to 300. Yes, if you are enjoying the Lord of the Rings cards, let me know. Maybe I'll pick up some more packs and we'll do some more. Let me know if you prefer to see more set boosters or draft boosters. Usually I get more set boosters because I'll pick up the fat pack, which has like 8 set boosters in it. Here we have a troll. This is, is this Pippin or Merry? This is Merry, I believe. No, it was Pippin. The Warden of Isengard. I was close. I had 50-50 shot there, right? Alright, so we're going to get Plains cards. We have a Mordor Trebuchet. Another Rush the Room. Another Orc High Crusher. So this isn't bad, right? I got duplicates of these, but again, you're buying trading cards. It's going to happen. Even though I'm buying first couple of packs. Sometimes buying packs next to each other happens. So usually if I can dig through a box, I go through, but there's only 4 packs on the shelf, so you get what you get. But yeah, so I got a bunch of help make me a better deck. We have Easterling Vanguard, a black human warrior. When Easterling Vanguard dies, amass orcs. Nice. When army of Easterling charge forth, will the Hillsport orcs innumerable. That's cool. We get an extra guy there. Alright, then we're going to get our next uncommon. We have the Barrow Blade. It's just an equipment card, our first equipment in the game. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, That creature loses all abilities till the end of turn and pays 1 to equip. That's actually very helpful for a lot of characters. It is very useful for the guy wielding the sword, Frodo Baggins. We got another one of him, because it does say if he's the ring bearer, he must be blocked. Then if you give him that, which now makes him a 2/4, so now he can only be blocked. He must be blocked, but also becomes blocked. All creatures lose abilities, so he can stop like these small death touchers and stuff like that. And then to go with him, a little bit every time I've gotten a Frodo, I keep getting another one of these rackers. We have Gollum, Patience, Plotter, 2-cost black, Halfling Horror. When Gollum, Patient, Plotter leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Pay 1 black to sacrifice a creature. Return Gollum from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only as a sorcery. They'll take it, steal my precious. Thieves, we hate them. Hey, we found a way to sacrifice permanents for Barlog. You just put, you put out Gollum and you pay 1 to sacrifice another creature. Although you can only do it once per turn because you can't sacrifice him to himself. But very interesting. Alright, then we have another alt art, Nasty End. An additional cost to cast this creature, sacrifice a creature. Hey, look, more sacrifice creature cards. Definitely cool. Draw 2 cards. If the sacrifice creature is a legendary, draw 3 cards instead. Nice. Just, again, works very well towards getting that Barlog out even. Our other alt art is the alt art for Frodo. So yeah, that's cool. He's looking down, probably getting ready to drop the ring, or is casting the ring. But that's definitely cool. A rare card, we have the One Ring to Rule Them All, a 4-cost Black Saga. The ring tempts you, then each player mills cards equal to the ring bearer's power. Oh, crazy. So, milling means discard the top card of your deck. And each time you gain one of them, power up to 4. At stage 2, destroy all non-legendary creatures. Oh, so we're going to make this a legendary battle. And then, each opponent loses 1 life for each creature in that player's graveyard. Oh boy. And then milling could always end up easily putting extra cards in there that might make it even harder. And this can destroy all them tokens, destroy all non-legendary creatures, yeah, destroy all your tokens and all the other stuff. The artwork on the sagas are always really cool. Alright, we have a foil. We have Hobbit's Sting, so he's wielding the Sting Blade. Hobbit's Sting deals X damage to target creature, where X is the number of creatures you control plus the number of foods you control. So if I get other halfling card that created food, this is definitely in addition to that. So basically you can create a bunch of halflings and then make some extra food. 1 for the Shire card, Aragorn. The Hobbit's bite is deep. You have a good blade, Frodo, son of Drogo. Yeah, it's such a foil. I love the foil on there, where you say the light is shining onto the face, and then the blade lights up in the back. It's actually a really neat foil effect. Alright, our last one is another throwback set, which I don't actually recall what set this is. We have Rift Sweeper, Elf Shaman. So we have another green elf. When Rift Sweeper enters the battlefield, choose target face-up exiled card. Its owner shuffles it into his or her library. Being the rifts are not natural, no longer will the abomination strike upon the body of Gaia. Okay, so not bad, but I don't know how many cards in here exile. We haven't seen any exiling so far, so this might not be super useful other than being a 2/2 elf, but we haven't even seen anything that really gains abilities with elves. Cool. Alright, so that was the Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth booster packs. Again, if you're enjoying these videos, let me know. I'll try and pick up some more packs. I am debating on if I want to get any of the commander decks. I always love commanders because there's usually a bunch of different cards, but I might go through and peer at the set list first, to see if they're all from this set or if they're going to be a bunch of stuff like 10 cards from this set plus like, 50 cards from other sets. And they're kind of expensive. They're like $60 a piece. So it's an investment to pick those up. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye.